and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how I've been to London not once, but twice this week, for not one, but two premieres. So anyway, a lot to talk about, a lot to update you on. Both of them were very different in different ways. And of course, there's always a bit of drama. There's always something that goes on. But anyway, before we begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. Red Post is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, but they also ship all over the world. Now, I had a little issue the other day because I was at the yard, was washing the horses, and I came to the conclusion I had run out of purple shampoo. Okay, as somebody who owns 3 grey horses, this is a big thing. Also, Lemire rang me up and was like, hey, we've sent you the new Glacier collection. Can you do a photo shoot with it and get it to us in 2 days' time? So anyway, I had some very dirty horses, and do you know what I did? Because I am a Red Post Stride member, went onto the app, next day delivery. So if you are a Red Post Stride member, you get next day delivery. So I think we've all been there as an equestrian. Maybe you've lost your plaiting bands and you've got a competition coming up. Maybe you've run out of purple shampoo. Maybe you ran out of horse treats and your horse is very angry because they don't have any treats. Do you know where you can get it? Red Post Equestrian. So go and check them out at redpostequestrian.co.uk. Anyway, let's get into today's podcast episode, because actually this one, I just thought I would let you know. I was going to apologise because this week, I'm sad to say, there is no comment of the week. But that's because I have been super organised. I'm actually recording 2 podcasts in 1 week just because I have a busy weekend. I'm going off to Cambridge for my book tour, and then next week is super busy as well. Also, this week, the weather has been biblical. The rain has just been crashing down. I think we've had like a month's worth of rain in like a few days. Like, it's ridiculous. So do you know what I thought I would do today? I would sit down and record a podcast episode in the warm and the dry and the no wind. Actually, the rain was so bad that the other day I was doing a voiceover for a video while I was editing. If you're super sneaky, you might be able to hear it. I was doing a voiceover and then I went and I thought, oh, this is perfect. Really getting into it. Really, like, you know, an emotional voiceover. When the video comes out, you'll know, you know. But anyway, it was talking away, chatting away, and then listened to it back while I was editing, and I could actually hear the rain in the voiceover. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to keep it in. It's atmospheric, because our microphones, I'm not going to lie, here at this Esme Studios, is that what we're calling it? Basically, the room above my mum and dad's garage, which is my office, at-home office. I have invested quite a bit of money into my microphones, if that's the podcast microphone, the microphone that I use for my voiceovers, and normally they're pretty good. So if my dad's having an asthma attack and coughing in the background, which for some reason every podcast episode, I think I've talked about this before, he just loves to cough. I mean, it's not on purpose, like he does have asthma, so I can't, you know, blame him too much, but I think it's that thing where it's like when you're not allowed to cough, you really want to cough. So anyway, normally, sometimes we can get away with him coughing and you can't hear it because the microphone is designed to pick up human voices, and obviously I'm the human voice that's very near it. So if there is some background noise of, I don't know, the wind, or actually our office is quite near some trees, so sometimes if it's really windy, the trees kind of rattle on the roof, which probably isn't very good. But anyway, do you know what that story has made me think of? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we were doing a photo shoot with my horse Casper, and it's for the new Lemire Aspen collection. I'm very, very grateful that they do send me lots of very nice things. And I've got to say, this collection is gorgeous. I'm pretty sure it's available at Red Post. Red Post do a lot of Lemire stuff, so go and check it out at Red Post. But it's a beautiful kind of like, yeah, I think Casper was in the herringbone, and then I put Joey in the houndstooth. But anyway, we're doing the photos with Casper. Now, with my job, being a social media equestrian person, whatever you want to call me, we do a lot of photo shoots with the horses. And I tell you what, my horses love doing the photo shoots because all they do is have to stand there and look pretty. And my horses, they can be a little bit lazy sometimes. Almost Joey, I had a really hard training session with him the day before. So anyway, when we were doing this, I say photo shoot, it sounds really, really fancy. It's literally me, my dad, and a camera. Sometimes I get my friend or my family to stand out and be like, ears forward, boys, and get them to do ridiculous dances to get them to basically look at the camera and look pretty. But anyway, it was just me and my dad, so or my dad and I and the horses. And sometimes that's a little bit more difficult because, especially, I don't know, like Joey, I was saying he was so tired that actually instead of trying to get his ears forward, we were just trying to keep his eyes open because it was quite a sunny day. And bless him, he was just standing there, eyes closed. Just actually, we do have one very sweet photo of him with his eyes closed. The horses have been doing a lot of snoozing out on their paddocks lately. Obviously, I've been doing lots of big rides with them. They've been having a lot of fun. But anyway, Joey, bless him, we were like, wakey, wakey, Joey, wakey, wakey. It was so funny. I did hack him afterwards around the village, and let me tell you, when we went across the galloping fields, he did wake up then, so don't worry, he's all good. And then after that, we did the photo shoot with Casper, my other horse. And now, a little top tip: if you ever want to get your horse's ears forward for photos, this is not an ad for the app, but there is an app called Horse Sounds. We've used that app many a times over the years. I think my dad's going to try and get up some horse sound effects. Do you reckon the horse sound effects copyrighted? Am I going to get like a copyright claim for using a horse sound? Are we ready? Can we hear it? Oh, is it coming? Oh, there we go. So yeah, there are lots of different like horse noises. Okay, that's probably enough now. Do you know what it makes me think of? You know when you watch... Okay, that's enough. You can really... Davide, stop with the horse noises. I'm trying to talk. Anyway, do you know what that makes me think of? You know when you watch a TV show? This is my biggest pet peeve, okay, as an equestrian. Watching anything that has horses in. It could be something that's like not about horses at all. Like it could be something that just has horses in. Like maybe it's set in medieval times or... I don't know. Like... Or maybe like past times where everyone walked around with... Stop it! He's playing the horse sound still. There's one where you can hear the galloping of the hooves. Anyway, do you know what really annoys me? It will, like, the horses will literally just be like standing there, chilled, with a horse and cart, and they'll just put on a horse neighing noise in the background, and it's like, no, you can see that horse is not neighing. Why are you putting a neighing sound effect? Or a horse is like galloping along, and they put a neighing sound effect on. It's like, that horse is not neighing while it's galloping. Like, what is going on? Why are you adding this? It's like having a stationary car and putting like a revving noise on it. It's like, what is going on? That is my biggest pet peeve, and I apologize if you've never noticed that before, and now you'll watch anything with horses in, you'll be like, why have they added all these horse sound effects? It's just so dramatic and so not needed. Anyway, what was I even talking about? Oh yes, so we're doing this photo shoot with Casper, and Casper is a clever boy. He is very clever. He has heard all of these horse noises so many times that he knows it's not a real horse. So do you know what we moved on to after that? The Farm Animals sound app. So we've used all the farm animal sounds, and he is also very clever, and they don't do anything for him now. So do you know what we have started to do? My dad gets his phone out and plays dad music for Casper. Now, no, my dad's music taste is like proper like dad rock 90s kind of stuff. So I hadn't heard of them before, which if there are any dads listening, yeah, probably going to cry at me saying this. But anyway, so my dad puts on The Prodigy. Now, the best way I can describe it, it's like kind of rocky kind of 90s kind of music. So anyway, is it not 90s? Techno? Okay, sorry, techno. Oh, he's getting it up now. I really don't want to get a copyright claim. Please, don't put it on. Don't put it on, Davide. Anyway, so techno. I can't remember. This was like a week ago now. But is it not techno? What is it? We're going to have to look this up. If not, is it not? Oh, okay. Well, it's proper dab music anyway. Either way, he's looking it up because if there are some big Prodigy fans listening, I tell you what, if there is any Prodigy.
Yeah, it says they're an electronic music band.
Okay, so Wikipedia, which is obviously the most trustworthy source on the internet, says it's an electronic... What?
Electronic music band.
Electronic music band. That is so vague. Anyway,
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. That's what Davide says. I'm not going to lie. If there is a Venn diagram of Prodigy listeners and Esme's Country Life listeners, I think it's a very small Venn diagram, a very small crossover. But anyway, if you do listen to that band, then hey, so does Casper. Casper's the biggest fan. Anyway, so my dad plays this electronic music and Casper is mesmerised. So anyway, our new thing is instead of, getting the horse sounds up, it's just my dad's music. And I tell you what, I still don't know to this day if Casper liked the music or if he disliked the music or he wasn't sure. But he was kind of like head bopping to the songs. And I tell you what, honestly, there's one, I'll probably do like a photo dump at some stage. I normally do a photo dump on my Insta at the end of each month. I kind of do like a recap. To be fair, we've got a lot of really cute photos of the horses at the moment. So maybe I'll just do one with all the cute photos of the horses. But anyway, we've been on it with photos this month, but oh my gosh, this is why I thought of the story, because Dad was like, Esme, you need to do a serious face, you need to do your blue steel, because sometimes like photos with the horses, especially if we're doing like kind of like more modelling stuff, I can't be standing there with a cheeky grin with my teeth out. Like I need to like be looking more kind of, relaxed, like, oh yeah, I'm just on a hack with my horse, just chilling, just vibing, I'm so cool. When actually I look like the Cheshire Cat because I was just cackling at the fact that Casper was listening to the Prodigy, headbanging and having a blast. So anyway, there we go. It did bring me back do you know what it also made me think of, which really made me chuckle? Thinking of when Joey was on box rest. And when Joey was on box rest, we put the radio on and we just, I don't know, put like Radio 1 on or something. And it was a Friday night and we went over to do night checks. And what we didn't realise is it was like club classics were on. And Joey was playing with his light switch, flicking the light on and off. So it literally looked like the horses were having a rave because they had all these, pop-in tunes on, these banging tunes and electronic music. And then Joey was like flicking the lights as well. I was like, what is going on? Like, anyway, so it made me think of that too. So, yeah, now if you ever want to make me laugh, just play the Prodigy and I will just think of Casper having a blast to that music. Maybe after that we'll have to move on to something else. So if you have any song, actually for this week's comment of the week, I know I can't say from last week what the comment is, but from the question for this week's comment of the week is, what music do you think I should play to my horses, or what music do you think I should play for Casper next time we do a photo shoot? Because I've listened to like a lot of like artist kind of like interviews and they've always been like, oh, on photo shoots you gotta have some good music to really get into the vibe, get some good photos, that kind of thing. So maybe I need to do that with my horses. Maybe that's the thing to do. Anyway, we actually need to talk about what I was going to talk about for this week's podcast episode, and that is the 2 premieres that I've been to. So yeah, it's been a busy week. I mean, I live like a ridiculous life. I'm so grateful to live the life that I live, but each week for me, I'm so lucky that it's just completely different. So one week I could be at an RSPCA centre or World Horse Welfare filming with rescue animals. One week, I'm at home with the horses filming, editing, and then this week I've been invited to not 1 but 2 premieres, which is wild. Like, what is my life? But anyway, obviously, that's the most exciting thing that I've done this week, so I need to tell you guys all about it. So the first one was for the Brook charity. So if you don't know about the Brook charity, they are an incredible charity that help working horses, donkeys and mules in developing countries. I actually did a trip with them to Senegal back in 2019. So if you would like to see some footage of baby Esme with some very cute donkeys in Senegal talking about the incredible work that they do, then go on my YouTube and check that out, because that is a video that I'm so proud of, but definitely didn't get as many views as like me doing ridiculous things with the horses or me like jumping in a muck heap in my riding dares videos. But it is the one that I did with the Brook charity I'm very proud of, and it obviously is for a very good cause. So anyway, the premiere was with the Brook charity, but it was also for a documentary created by Dr. Scott, who is the rescue vet. He's also the vet on This Morning, so he has a YouTube channel about lots of different vet and rescue things. So go and check it out. There we go. Scott, you're welcome. I've given you some free promo on the podcast. But anyway, it was really lovely to see him again. I actually first met him when I went to Buckingham Palace last year with the Brooke charity for their 90th birthday celebrations. So if you haven't listened to that podcast episode talking about what Buckingham Palace is like, you need to go and listen to that after this one if you're new to the pod, because tell you what, that was a wild day. Anyway, I don't want to seem like I'm that person being like, oh yeah, so this one time when I was at Bucket, like name dropping. But anyway, that's when I first met him. So obviously that day got to know him very well. Anyway, was very kindly invited to the premiere of his documentary that he did alongside the Brooke charity, and it was all about the donkey skin trade. So just thought I'd let you know, I would definitely recommend going and watching the documentary. It's on YouTube on his Rescue Vet channel, but just a little warning that there is some very graphic images and very graphic footage. So if that sort of stuff isn't for you, don't watch it, because I tell you what, you probably will need a packet of tissues because it's very harrowing, very sad. But it's got a happy, I don't want to give spoilers, but like most things, it's got a happy ending, and hopefully, but anyway, let me tell you about the donkey skin trade if you don't know what it is, and also if you maybe don't want to watch the documentary because it might be a bit too tough to watch. I thought I would explain it to you, and even if you don't know about it, let me tell you, because it's such an important cause that the Brooke charity are trying to change. So what is happening is, in a lot of different African countries, the documentary was actually set in Kenya, is donkeys are being stolen for their skins. So in China, there is a huge demand for donkey skins because it's used in cosmetics, it's used in a lot of kind of Chinese traditional medicine, and they have scientifically proven that donkey skin isn't anything special compared to any other sort of gelatin products. So what is happening is these donkeys are being stolen, they're being skinned in a very unhumane way. They are being finished off, basically. I don't know how to say this without the podcast getting flagged up or demonetized. And these donkeys, not only we all know what a connection we have with our animals. Like, I could not imagine my donkey Toby getting stolen in the middle of the night and skinned. Obviously that would absolutely break your heart, but also these donkeys are so vital to these communities because in these communities, a lot of people, they don't have tractors, they don't have cars, they can't afford these sort of machineries, and they use these donkeys as a form of transport. A lot of these people, some of the communities that they were talking to in the documentary, they have to walk 12 kilometers just to get water, when they had their donkey stolen, instead of the donkey carrying the water, a lot of the time in these communities, the women become the donkeys. They have to carry these 40 kilogram containers of water 12 kilometers, which is so far, and obviously, a lot of effort. Like, I go to the gym and oh my gosh, the thought of that for me is like, wow. So anyway, the Brooke charity are trying, well, obviously the donkey skin trade is now illegal, which is brilliant because so many of you signed a petition that I shared on my social media to get it to become illegal. But the issue is, with a lot of illegal things, they still do happen. So there's more information in the documentary and there's more information on the Brooke charity website, but there are just so many donkeys being stolen, so many they're worried that by 2040 that the amount of donkeys out there is going to be tiny. And again, these donkeys are so vital for these communities. And also there was it was really interesting, the documentary, there was this one lady, and when she had her donkey stolen, she just did stop talking for 4 months because the grief of losing her best friend was just that awful. I've gone through the grief of losing Mickey, and it's very different situations, and obviously that was very hard, but I cannot imagine the situation where you wake up in the morning and your donkey's gone, or there is just remains of your donkey on your doorstep. So anyway, if you'd like to support the Brooke charity and the work that they do, go and check them out at thebrooke.charity.com. I'm pretty sure, just if you search up the Brooke charity, it will come up on your web browser. But they are an absolutely incredible charity, because not only do they help these working horses, donkeys and mules, but also the communities that rely on them and are essential for them as well. So anyway, it was an incredible documentary. Yes, definitely one to have tissues with. And it was really nice catching up with the Brook team as well, because obviously there's the team that I went to Senegal out with, there was the team that I went to Buckingham Palace with, so it was a really lovely event. I tell you what, it was a beautiful cinema where we were. It was kind of like near Covent Garden, and it was very cool. It was like the vibes of it were very cool. It was almost like walking into like an American movie theatre from like 50 years ago. Like, it was beautifully done up, and obviously it was lovely catching up with people. But also my friend Kate was there, who you would have listened to on the podcast a few weeks back. Kate, aka Blob the Cob, who is also a equestrian content creator. So it was really lovely to see a lot of other people that were also invited to this documentary to shout about the work that the Brook charity do and shout about the documentary. So it was really lovely to see her coming along and supporting the Brook charity as well. And also her friend Sophie was there as well. So we had a big old catch up. So it was really, really lovely to see them. And then, yeah, that was number one premiere. So that was Tuesday this week. And now we're going on to the next premiere, which was for the new Disney Plus show, All's Fair, where I was very kindly invited by Meta. So thank you, Meta, for having me. And thank you to Disney Plus and Hulu. I guess like Hulu, like for me, like I don't know too much about it, because obviously Hulu was like a very like an American kind of, I was going to say it's a bit like Netflix, Disney Plus, that kind of thing. But it's now been bought by Disney. So it's like Disney and Hulu. So I don't know if I should say Hulu or Disney Plus, but I'm going to say Disney Plus because I'm British and it was the UK premiere for it. But anyway, I can tell you a little bit about the show, but not all, because at the moment I have signed an NDA. Because, like, this sounds like so official, like, I've signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, if you don't know what that is, because I'm not gonna lie, until I started doing this as my job, I did not know what an NDA was. But basically, you have to sign a thing to be like, I won't tell people secrets. It's a legal pinky promise. That's how I like kind of think of it as. But anyway, I cannot tell you my opinions on the show. I cannot tell you what I thought of the show. I've seen the first episode, but I can tell you what the premiere was like, and I can tell you information about what the show's about because there is a trailer out. So I can tell you my thoughts on the trailer because that is okay. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the trailer. On the 5th of November, I can officially tell you, because I'm pretty sure it comes out on the 4th of November. It's 4th or 5th of November. I can spill the beans on my opinion on the show. But anyway, let's talk about the premiere. So normally, so this was like a little bit of a last minute kind of like a little bit of a lastminute.com premiere for me. So normally, like with premieres that I've been to before, I sound like I've been to loads. I've been to this is maybe my 5th one, I want to say. Anyway, very, very grateful to be invited, because I do get a little bit of imposter syndrome. I'm just a girl with horses, and I was in Leicester Square on a red carpet where Kim Kardashian was. So it was a bit, I'm used to being at home in muddy wellies. It was, very different day for me, very different day. So very pinch me moment. But anyway, it was a bit of a last minute thing with events like this. They're often very kind of like last minute, because it's all hush hush, secret, that kind of thing. Anyway, and I thought to myself, you know what? I went so lastminute.com, but you know what? The outfit and everything, it worked. I had a dress that I already owned, because I was like, I don't want to be that person that goes out and buys a dress for every occasion, every event. So I re-wore something that I've already worn before. It was a dress that I'd worn to a ball before. It was black. It was kind of like it was really funny, because my friend Grace, who was there, that I'll talk to you about in a second, she had a really similar dress. And we even had a group chat with all the Meta girlies on, and we were like saying what we were wearing. And I was like, oh, I'm wearing a black and nude dress. And she was like, oh, I'm wearing a black and silver dress. So we thought, oh, they won't be that similar. They literally, and we were like twinning. It was so cute. So anyway, so it was black bodycon, had a little slit up the side. It was like floor length, because I was like, ball gown, obviously floor length. And then the top was kind of like a nude baby pink kind of satin material. And then it kind of had like a little bit of extra detailing kind of around the shoulder. Like it had two straps, one over my shoulder, one around kind of like my arm on the right hand side. And then the left hand side, it was off the shoulder. So it was like a little asymmetrical number. But I really liked it because it had a nice kind of like, I don't know. I feel like when you get older, you kind of figure out your fashion and what you feel confident and comfortable in. And one thing, if you're going to be walking a red carpet or a premiere, you want to feel confident and you want to feel comfortable as well. So for me, I always quite like having quite like a high neckline. I just feel more, I don't know, I feel exposed if I have too low of a neckline. Like I like quite like a nice high neckline. And I quite like it when it kind of, I don't know, when I dress, I don't know, I just felt like it, I felt very confident and comfortable in it. So anyway, I was like, perfect. I'll wear this dress that I already have had, perfect. Shoes already had, perfect. And then I thought, I also had a very busy week trying to fit everything in. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to have time to go and get my hair and makeup professionally done. So do you know what I did? I did my hair and makeup myself. And I tell you what, even my friend one of my friends messaged me being like, oh, Esme, your makeup looked really nice. I was like, I will take that because I did it myself. And you guys know, like, I am no makeup artist. Like, don't get me wrong. I love watching makeup content on social media. I grew up watching all the beauty gurus on YouTube back in the day. So obviously some of that has paid off. I might be a horse girl, but I do my own red carpet makeup. Anyway, so sorry, that chest infection is still coming to haunt me. Anyway, so moving on. Hair, makeup, everything I did myself. Now, to get to London, because I live in the middle of nowhere, the best way to get to London is on the train. But I was not going to be wearing high heels on the tube because that is just an accident waiting to happen. Like, I would say I've got a good balance, but I'm also very clumsy. And I thought the thought of me wearing a ball length gown with high heels on the tube escalators is just a broken ankle waiting to happen. So I had my little slip-on like flats on. So I probably looked absolutely ridiculous walking around London in like a ball gown. To be fair, I had a nice big kind of trench coat on over the top to kind of cover me up. So I didn't just look like I was just randomly sitting on the train in a ball gown. Because I don't know, I guess in London, like, anything goes. On the train, anything goes. Like, people going wherever. It's a bit like airports. In airports, you get people wearing anything. Apart from, you probably wouldn't see someone wearing a ball gown in an airport. Anyway, so I was very glad that my dad came with me, and he brought a rucksack with him to put my high heels in, and he kept joking that my high heels weren't there and we left them in the car or he lost them, which is not funny. And I also know that he was joking the whole time, so it's just not funny in general. Like, you do this joke all the time, Davide. Anyway, and then we had like 15 minutes before I needed to meet all of the Meta girls at the hotel to pick up our tickets and press passes and all that kind of fun stuff. And Dad was stressing out because obviously we'd had a 45-minute train journey, been on the tube where everyone's hot and sweaty and it's rush hour and you're pressed up against someone's butt crack and, it's just not fun. So anyway, we nipped into a pub and Dad was like, I'll get some drinks at the bar. You go and sort yourself out. Because at this stage, he was stressing out because I didn't have my heels on. My hair was all messed up from being on the tube, where I think my hair actually I didn't realise this. My dad was like, "Ez, your hair!" Because in the tube, because obviously rush hour, it's hot, sweaty, it's packed. I was like pressed up right against the end of a tube carriage, where in between the carriages, they sometimes have a window open. I didn't realise because I had my long hair down, it went through the window and was whipping this guy in the face who was in the carriage next door. So anyway, I had a very funky hairstyle after I came out of that tube. So anyway, quickly ran down to the pub bathroom down the stairs. I feel like pub bathrooms in London are always like in the basement, or they're always just really far away. Anyway, quickly whipped on my shoes, redid my makeup, touched up my hair, boom, boom, boom. Quickly had a drink, and then it was time to meet the girls. And I don't know, like my dad before these things always gets super stressed. Like he's like looking at me like, girl, why are you saying this? It's the same like when I was on TV. Again, I don't want to be that person that's name dropping. I'm just thinking about what's happened lately that's mildly stressful. But anyway, like before these things, he's like, make sure you get lots of photos, make sure you film lots of things, make sure you get your friend Grace to get lots of photos as well, get lots of photos of her. I'm like, Davide, calm down. Like I luckily, obviously I know my dad very well, and when he gets sort of stressed and nervous like this, I've just learned to put up a shield, because before it would really wind me up and then I would be super stressed, and like obviously, you know, walking a carpet is a bit of a stressful, it's a high stress, high pressure situation. So anyway, I was like, Davide, it's gonna be great. You have a lovely time having a walk around London while I go and do my thing. So anyway, met my friend Grace in there, who's lovely. I've met her, obviously I know her very well from being part of the kind of Instagram crew. So, and what was absolutely incredible, oh my gosh, this is like, I'm so excited because I've looked on her Instagram, her Instagram is Grace Tutty, if you want to give her a follow. Also shout out to her for taking so many incredible photos of me the other night, so thank you, Grace, if you're listening. She's probably not. Anyway, she has a camera, and I've been looking on her Instagram. I was like, you have so many incredible photos on your Instagram. Like, I'm just intrigued, like what the camera is, because you can tell it's not like an iPhone photo, it's from like a proper camera. And anyway, she got this camera out, we're getting loads of photos. Tell you what makes the biggest difference, the flash, because the camera has a flash, like the lighting, 10 out of 10. So anyway, I was like, you know, the evening went on, I was like, Grace, where is your camera from? Like, what is your camera? Do you mind if I ask? Because I thought maybe it's like, you know, like, because it was a small, like handheld, could fit in your purse kind of digital camera. And I thought, oh, like, you know, maybe it's like some like old school one, that kind of thing. Anyway, I find out it is a Canon G7X. Now, for anybody that is into cameras or vlogging or that kind of thing, the Canon G7X is like the OG vlogging camera that all of the vloggers used on YouTube back in the day. Guess who's got a Canon G7X? Me. So I was like, oh my gosh, not only do I not need to, you know, go out and buy a new camera, I already have it. And anyway, I was talking to her about it, and apparently because they don't make the camera anymore, I'm pretty sure, and obviously it's such a cute little compact camera that's so easy, apparently on eBay people are selling them for like over $1,000 or something absolutely ridiculous. So this was the camera that was my first proper YouTube camera. So back in the day when I first started vlogging, it was a mix between my old iPhone, and then when I got a little bit more serious, my dad gave me this old Fujifilm camera that had the worst audio on. Like, the video was pretty good, and it was actually a photo camera, but I would just vlog on it because it was better than an iPhone, I guess, back in the day. But the audio on it, oh my gosh, if I listened to it back in the day, and you can like hear the camera like focusing, like it's just little things like that. It's just so old school. But anyway, I remember it was 2017. I'd done my GCSE exams. I did very well. I got all A's and A stars, just saying, don't want to be that person showing off. But if you put the hard work in, even if you're dyslexic like me, you can get the results. I worked so hard for those exams. So anyway, very proud of myself. Anyway, so my parents very kindly, because they knew how invested I was in my YouTube channel, how invested I was in, obviously, my schoolwork, did very well. So they very kindly bought me this Canon G7X vlogging camera for me as a present for doing well in my GCSE exams. Shut up. That was 9 years ago. No, it was 8 years ago. 2025. It would be 9 years in August. But still, I don't like no, I'm too old. No, I don't like this. I'm still 16. What are you talking about? Anyway, so I was so excited because I've got that camera, and it was amazing because she just took the SD card out, popped it in a little thing, and was like, oh, just plug this in your phone. I had all the photos just bam on my phone, and I was like, Grace, you are a genius. Thank you so much. So anyway, I haven't even told you what it's like walking the red carpet. So it wasn't actually a red carpet. I feel like nowadays, I don't know, maybe like people just, you know, I feel like premieres don't want to be like all the other girls. I feel like every time I'd be like, oh yeah, I did a red carpet. The carpet's never actually red. Why do they never make the carpet red? I mean, Wicked, it was green, which was very cool. And obviously, you know, Emerald City, goes with the vibe. Like, that makes sense. It's a green carpet. Even like I was looking at the other ones, like I didn't go to this one, but I had some friends that went. They went to the Wednesday one. That was a purple carpet. Anyway, for All's Fair, it was a cream carpet, which, tell you what, you know, it's very, you know, clean girl aesthetic, very kind of Kim Kardashian kind of vibes. Anyway, oh yeah, I haven't even said, Kim Kardashian is one of the main actors in the show. Again, I cannot give my opinion. I cannot tell you what the show is about. I cannot talk about her acting. But it was, yeah, all I'm going to say is the show has got a big production value, and there's some big names that are in this show. I mean, from the trailer, that's all I know, all from the trailer. Anyway, so it was time to walk the carpet, and the cream carpet. And the way these things work is, the best way, it's chaotic. You only have so long to be on the carpet, because obviously they've got to move everybody through. So this time, actually, they were very clever. They had 3 identical photo backgrounds where it said All's Fair, Hulu, Disney Plus, Premiere, that kind of thing. So it worked out quite well, and because we were there getting all the content. I mean, that's our job. Our job to do is go there and get content, but you only have, you don't have a lot of time. So anyway, me and Grace were getting photos on the big camera. I said the big camera, on her Canon G7X. We were getting photos on our phones. We were getting videos as well, so we can make a reel for Meta, because we love Meta. Thank you, Meta, for inviting us. Anyway, so we were like trying to get all the content, and then we had there was another lady there called Christelle who I met, who was lovely, and then she was kind of part of our little group of Meta girls. And we also had Belle, who is the kind of Meta partner manager, who kind of organises all the fun kind of content creating stuff and events that we get to go to. So thank you, Belle, for the invite. Anyway, so we had a plan. We were like, this is not our first rodeo. So what we did was we were getting all the photos, and obviously the security guards, they have to come along and be like, guys, can you move on now? Like, can you move on to the next photo spot? Like, that kind of thing. And obviously there were 3 of us trying to get, content. So what happened was, Belle was like, next time they ask us to move along, I'll move along, so it seems like you've moved along when actually you can stay here and get content. We were like, perfect. Thanks, Belle. So she was incredible. Anyway, got loads of content, got loads of stuff. And then once you got all the kind of like outdoor, so this was in Leicester Square, which is actually quite funny, because there's if you ever want to do celeb spotting, you didn't hear this from me, but if there is a red carpet on, you want to see the celebrities, go into the Burger King, go upstairs, and from there you can actually see the whole red carpet, and you can see all the celebrities and see like what's going on. So normally when there's a red carpet going on in Leicester Square, there is actually security on the Burger King to make sure that there's not too many people going in, because everyone is like up there. It's so funny. You just look up at this Burger King and there's all these people like pressed up against the window, against the glass, trying to like see the premiere, which is quite funny. But anyway, it was very, very cool. So anyway, once we'd done all the outside stuff, we tried to hang around there for like a little while, because obviously it's where you get all the best photos. It's where you get to see there's the kind of like a little like it all I mean, I haven't been to loads of red carpets, but from my experience, they often have like a little A-lister corner. So that's actually like people who are actually in the show, because obviously they invite randos like me to be like, oh, they'll post it on their, I mean, actually, they didn't invite me. They give Meta or Instagram so many tickets, and they're like, hey, if you know some cool people, you can invite them along. So basically that's how it works. So thank you again, Meta, for inviting me. So they have like the kind of content creators, randos like me, in kind of one area, and then often they have an A-lister area, which is where like Kim and all the other main actors, they're the actual people that are in the show that do all the press interviews for like Vogue and all that kind of stuff. They have like a little corner. They have a different entrance. So anyway, me and Grace were hanging around there because we wanted to do some celeb spotting. We're like, while we're here, we might as well have a little nose, see who we can find, see what's happening. I often do like a little live stream of interviewing all the celebs as well, so that was cool. So we managed to hang around there for quite a while, and then we went in. There's like a little indoor bit where they often have more selfie spots, so they also have professional, like the paps getting photos as well. They also have often at these events, like they did at this one, they had some really cool what's it called, costumes. They had costumes of all of the kind of like, they had all the suits that the girls wear in the show, which is very, very cool. Tell you what, Kim Kardashian's one had a tiny waist. Oh my goodness, you could tell which one hers was. And then they had like a little mirror, and I didn't realize it said on it, I'm pretty sure it was, I'm trying to rack my brain, it said like, don't get something. Wait, I'm gonna have to find this up, because tell you what, basically this mirror had so many pictures, or so many like people, basically you were given a pen and you could like write something on the mirror, and I didn't realize that there was actually text on the mirror. So it's the lady I didn't realize was like, oh, you need to write something that you're manifesting. So some people had written on this mirror, oh no, I'm gonna try and find it. Tell you what still gets me, my little rant of the day, the new iOS update for photos still absolutely drives me round the bend. I can never find anything. It's just, that's my rant of the day. There we go. I'll be back when I've actually found what this mirror says. It says, oh, okay, I found it. It says, get hot, get mad, get, and then ... So I didn't realise it was supposed to be like the thing that you wrote on the mirror was supposed to be like the final one. So let's see what some people put. Some people put muscles, some people put rich, some people put happiness. I put love and then a little love heart, which, I don't know, kind of cutesy. But yeah, some people put their names, which is quite funny. They obviously did the same thing as me, and I was like, did not realise that you were supposed to, write on the fill in the blank. So that was quite funny. So it would be like, get hot, get rich, get Molly, and just like some random girl's name. Anyway, I think somebody put get a husband, which I thought was quite funny. But anyway, but yeah, I can't. So anyway, got that down. Also, we went into the toilets there, and I tell you what, the toilets at this premiere, they had incredible lighting. So we were chilling in the toilets for quite a lot. I mean, I feel like that is the most like girly night out like thing to do, is just like spend half the time just in the bathroom together as a group of girls. But anyway, we got so many incredible photos in the bathroom there, which was incredible. And then we were kind of like hanging around, because obviously we wanted to because the A-listers, they come in last, so we were trying to be as sneaky as we possibly could. Like, we walked the carpet at the latest that we could before they'd be like, you're too late, mate, can't come in. And then Grace and I were hanging around, and Grace, like 10 out of 10, she had some brilliant acting skills, because when the security were like, oh, can you go into the cinema now, and we wanted to like hang around and like see if we could spot Kim Kardashian, she would like go on her phone being like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm just talking to a friend, she's just coming in, we're just waiting for her. And she was like absolutely incredible, being on her phone being like, oh yeah, so we're just round the corner here, we're just waiting for you. Like, it was 10 out of 10 acting. It was brilliant. In the end, we did get moved on, and we didn't get to be super close to Kim, but we did get to be in the same room as her when we were in the cinema. And I tell you what, my new phone does have very good zoom, so it does look like we were right next to her, when actually we were up in the wings, up at the top. But again, I cannot tell you about the show, but from the trailer, if you want to know what it's about some divorced lawyers in California, I'm pretty sure, and they're all proper kind of girl boss women, and it's juicy. Anyway, that's all you're gonna get, because I do not want to get sued by Disney Plus. So that is all I can tell you from watching the trailer, not from watching the show, because I need to keep my opinions to myself of what I think of it. But anyway, that is my story for you all. Also, after the premiere, my dad very kindly came and picked me up with an umbrella, because it was, again, absolutely tipping it down with rain. It was the bottom of my dress. I've had to hang my dress up in my dressing room, like near my radiator, because the bottom of my dress was just absolutely soaked, because obviously it's floor length dress, and it's one of those dresses where when I've got heels on, it doesn't touch the floor, but when I've got my flats on, it gets soaked, or it gets, drags along the ground a little bit. So anyway, had an absolutely incredible time at these premieres. So thank you to the premieres for inviting me. And thank you to you guys for listening to this podcast. thank you to Red Post for sponsoring. Also, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the podcast, because I hate to be that content creator that says this, but I mean, I also am guilty of this. There are so many podcasts that I love listening to, and I haven't followed or subscribed or whatever it is, rated it 5 stars. If you can rate it 5 stars, that'd be amazing. Or whatever. So if you can do that for the podcast, it really does make a huge difference, and it's a great way to support the pod as well. Thank you so much to Red Post for sponsoring the podcast. Thank you to everybody who has made this week possible with all of my very cool events. And I will see you all next time. Bye!